Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon again. Welcome to another episode of Spilly Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we are going to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers. Once again, apologize for the appearance. I did just get off of work not that long ago. At least I don't have alfalfa hair. All right, new shortened disclaimers in the description box. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you are going to find all the pertinent links to both subjects. In particular, I want to note the link to the article written by NeuroClastic, where they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's called Behavior Modification Program. I want you to take special note because the JRC, the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, has threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. They have refused, so please share that article on all your social media. We have the links to their public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe in case the JRC tries to see through with their threat. All right, folks, when we discuss the JRC and Agape and all places like it, you're going to see surveillance footage and video clips of people with disabilities and mental health issues being tortured and abused. If you do got young children present, at the very least, please have your headphones on. Trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and we speak on obviously very dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised, all right? Okay, so where we left off. Additionally, the statute allows for such lawsuits in the first place is the Alien Tort Claims Act, which allows for federal district courts to have jurisdiction over claims brought by non-U.S. citizens over torts in violation of U.S. or international law. So it's talking about the exceptions now, where the international court can weigh in and where it can't. Excuse me, allergies. Non-U.S. citizens do not have a comparable statute under which to sue on the basis of international law. This allows abuses such as those in schools and residential programs involving the use of aversives to fall through the cracks, where individuals whose rights have been violated can neither seek relief under the Constitution nor under the broader provisions of the international rights law. So, in more words and in a more polite manner, uh, Sean here is making my point. What he's trying to tell you is we got nowhere to turn to. Okay? We got nowhere to go. The U.S. courts, in particularly the Massachusetts and the D.C. Circuit Court, has been, I'm going to say it, I don't know it for a fact, but I can't help but think that somebody high up was paid off. Okay? And when you have that situation where the international community can't do much on our behalf and we get shoved under the rug because in their idea the Constitution doesn't lay down protections when it comes to treatment, SOL does not begin to cover the sentiment, folks. So what do we have recourse to? We try to speak to our representatives, right? I've talked to you that before in my local state, sitting at their doors every single morning. I've done it. I've done it a lot. But you see where I'm going here, don't you? There's not much we can do except work to change the laws because the laws as they are might superficially look like they provide protection, the ADA, the Disability Bill of Rights, but in reality, folks, yeah, there are ways to get through those laws as they are written on the books now, which is why we've got the two bills that we have been pushing for almost a decade now. That's why we need more specific language, because that specific language will give us the exact type of protections that we need by law, so that places like the JRC can't brush their torture under a rug, call it treatment, and pay people to believe them to the point that they're never held accountable for the damage that they do. You see what I'm saying? The JRC complains the most that we go to our representatives. Their lobbyists are there too, but what they most fear, I think, is us being able to grab a hold of that one person. The beginning of the falling of the dominoes, as it were. That's why we got to understand who we're against, understand that they are extremely well funded, extremely well connected. With that being the case, that's why bulk numbers in support of these two bills getting passed are, I can't understate the importance of that. Because the only thing that's going to drown out all that money and all that schmoozing is the political power of larger numbers. It's reminding them that we have organizations too. It's reminding them not just how much of the voting population that we make up, but those whose lives intertwine with us also make up. Granted, you will tell me, well, Tiff, what good is it doing this? It's 2023. Nothing's happened. Let me explain a little bit something to you about both state and federal law. It goes at, I would say, half the speed of a snail's pace. Okay? Half the speed of a snail's. You know where I'm getting at. Blah. It's slow. It's incremental. It takes years, decades, sometimes even longer than decades. Look at our history, for crying out loud, if you don't believe me on that one. In order to make the changes necessary to protect the most vulnerable of us, it takes an enormous amount of time, manpower, finances, you name it. When you join in a fight like this one, this isn't like those keyboard warriors for AH. It needs real dedication. It needs real time. It needs boots on the ground. We need videos. We need social media. You see where I'm going with this, don't you? Because as long as the outside public is allowed to remain dumb, docile, and unaware of what's going on, the longer this torture is going to continue. And we are going to continue to deal with the psychological trauma of generation after generation after generation of disabled people and people with mental health issues to come. And we're going to close on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one, all right? Bye-bye, everyone. Oh yeah, flourish.